Alright guys, I am back, and today I had a video suggestion by Matthew Anthony Pace, and he suggested to do like a top ten favorite SummerSlam matches of all time list. So shout out to him. He's a great wrestling fan. He loves video games. Yeah, just an awesome guy to talk to really. And yeah, he decided to do this video, so this is for you, man. And yeah, my top 10. So at number 10, we have. Wait a minute. We have AJ Styles versus John Cena from last year's SummerSlam. In my opinion, AJ Styles versus John Cena in 2016 was a really good feud in my opinion. The fans were really into it, and they had awesome matches together. SummerSlam 2016 was one of them, where AJ went over clean, obviously. And they had more matches. They had a match before that, Money in the Bank. But that match was one of my favorites personally, because I really enjoyed it, and I'm a fan of both guys, so gotta say that was at number 10. So at number 9, I've got to say that the next one was British Bulldog versus Bret Hart. This was a real good technical match here. I know that a lot of people say that Macho Man versus Warrior from SummerSlam 19 was a favorite match, but I would say it was only a one-match show, and that was Bulldog versus Bret Hart. It had an easy to tell story. It was basically a brother-in-law, and wait a minute. So his brother-in-law and protecting his wife and then stuff like that. So basically there was tension in the family, the Harts, and basically this was all over just the IC title, and it was just built over the Hart family and stuff like that. So yeah, Bret Hart versus British Bulldog, and British Bulldog got the win. So that's at number 9. At number 8, we have Owen Hart versus Bret Hart. Now I know you guys saying, well, Bret Hart's in 2 of your top 10 list for all-time matches. Well, I'm going to say that he had 2 great SummerSlam matches, okay? 94 and 92, okay? Because 92-94 was, in my opinion, I think Bret had his good work in, especially 94, but Owen, him and Owen had some good matches and stuff. But that steel cage match, that blue steel cage match in 1994, that old school steel cage match, that was really awesome. I really enjoyed the match. These 2 brothers just kicked each other's asses and stuff, and obviously I wanted Owen Hart to win because I'm a big Owen Hart fan. I didn't want to see Bret Hart win the match. I wanted, because Owen Hart didn't win at WrestleMania 10, and I really wanted to see Owen Hart at WrestleMania 10 win the WWF title from Yokozuna, and we never got to see that. And here I really want to see Owen get his revenge on Bret Hart at SummerSlam 94, and Bret gets it again. I mean, I thought Owen should have won it at SummerSlam at WrestleMania 10, but SummerSlam 1994, Owen Hart should have won that championship, because in my opinion, Owen Hart is the most charismatic person in that Hart. He's the most charismatic out of Bret Hart. Okay, I know a lot of people are gonna say Bret Hart's like the greatest of all time. Yes, he is, but Owen Hart is, he is the greatest of all time, and he deserved at least a WWE title run. Because he was an awesome heel, great baby face, and he had charisma, something that Bret Hart does not have. Personality. So at number 7, I've got to say that it was basically SummerSlam 2000, and we had the first TLC match. It was the Hardys, the Dudleys, Edge and Christian for the World Tag Team titles at the time. This was really awesome because this was like the future of the company, trying to get themselves over, and they did. This gimmick match here with a tables, ladders, and chairs match really got these 4 guys over, because you had a future Jeff Hardy as a megastar, and you had a future Edge as a megastar, and then you had Christian and Matt Hardy. They would kind of come main eventers, and Bully Ray in TNA would come a main eventer. But like I said, all those guys really played a part, and even Devon, he had an alright run, I guess, as a tag team wrestler. But yeah, apart from that, all 4 guys really in that match, all 4 teams really, in the future, we're going to have big things. And they had I talked about it in my SummerSlam 2000 review, so I'm not going to really talk about the match, but you guys know how good that match was, and that's at number 7. At number 6, I know you guys are going to say, but Bret Hart versus Mr. Perfect for the IC title. I've got to say that was that's got to be up there as well. I really enjoyed that match. Mr. Perfect was one of my favorites of all time, and Bret Hart. I'm not a big Bret Hart fan, but you know what? He has a good match at SummerSlam, so I've got to put him at number 6. Him and Mr. Perfect. At number 5, we have Ultimate Warrior versus Ravishing Rick Rude. Now, I enjoyed it, this whole Ravishing Rick Rude and Ultimate Warrior match. I think that was 1990, because at WrestleMania, Rick Rude pinned the Ultimate Warrior. Obviously, I know the brain helped him, but in my opinion, Rick Rude was one of the top heels at that time to go against the Warrior. And then we had the rematch at SummerSlam. They had that awesome steel cage match for the WWF title. The Warrior went over, and stuff like that. But it was a really good match, and I enjoyed it, and that's why it's at number 5. At number 4, I've got to say that I've got to go back to 2008 for this one, and it was Edge versus The Undertaker inside Hell in a Cell. And you know what? Talking about this feud, I've got to say that in my opinion, it was like a year-long feud, because it started in like late 2007 and ended at SummerSlam 2008, because obviously that led up to WrestleMania. They main evented WrestleMania together, and they main evented 2 pay-per-views, the 2 of the big 4 pay-per-views. They main evented WrestleMania 24, and they main evented SummerSlam 2008. And they actually carried that story for a year, a whole year. You know what? In today's WWE, we only get feuds that are maybe a couple of months, maybe 3 or 4 months, but we don't get a feud what's like a year. So you know what? I was pretty happy about that, and obviously Taker won and whatever, but it was a good feud, and I really enjoyed it. I'm a fan of both guys, and yeah, Edge and Undertaker are definitely Hall of Fame, whereas they also Edge is in the Hall of Fame now, but definitely Taker should be in the Hall of Fame at some point. So my top 3, basically my top 3 at this point, it's got to be really hard in how I put the order, and now a lot of people are going to like it. But number 3, I've got to say that it's Stone Cold Steve Austin versus Undertaker. Yeah, Stone Cold Steve Austin versus The Undertaker. And I really like this match. This was a time when obviously Austin was obviously still feuding with Vince, and then like Vince aligned himself with the Brothers of Destruction at this point, and they would have a triple threat match at Judgment Day. I think that was after SummerSlam 98. And yeah, but Taker and Austin, they had some good matches, I thought. I mean, it wasn't like Undertaker, it wasn't like Austin and Rock good, or Triple H and Austin, but it was good matches, and I enjoyed them and stuff like that. So yeah, that was my number 3, Austin versus Taker 98. So we're down to the final 2. So who got the final 2? So at number 2 we have Triple H versus The Rock from SummerSlam 98. Another one from SummerSlam 98. I know that number 3 was from SummerSlam 98, but I've got to say, when you look at 2 future stars from 1998 and a Triple H and a Rock, and they had that awesome IC title match for that ladder match was so awesome. And you just saw that that these 2 guys were going to become big stars. Now I know people are going, oh, you're just saying it because you're Triple H your favorite wrestler. No, but I knew that he was going to become a big star, because I knew that he had charisma and personality and stuff like that. And he his role in DX, I mean, Triple H really established himself in that DX faction. I know, and then after that he would establish himself in 2000 after Mick Foley put him over at Royal Rumble 2000, also make him a megastar and stuff like that. But like I said, and The Rock made his name in the Nation of Domination, and then obviously he broke away from that. He had a feud with Ken Shamrock, and then he went on to feud with Triple H at 98 SummerSlam. And yeah, these 2 guys, anytime that you have a Rock and Triple H match, even if it was like a Raw, or even if it wasn't a big 4 pay-per-view, these guys would tear the house down, and I would love to see them have one more match at WrestleMania. Like, if it's next year or maybe the year after, they need to do it as soon as possible. I want to see another Rock and Triple H match at WrestleMania. We've never seen a one-on-one match between those 2 guys. Like, they faced off before in the past on other pay-per-views, and they faced off at SummerSlam, but they never had a one-on-one match before at WrestleMania. And I really want to see that before they get any older. So yeah, that's at number 2. Now I know what you're going to say. At number 1, I've got to say that's going to be HBK versus Triple H. SummerSlam 2002, one of my favorite SummerSlams, like I said before, but 2 of my favorite wrestlers of all time, and Shawn Michaels and Triple H. I grew up on these guys, in DX in like 98, 99, when they was doing the DX thing, and Shawn was the commissioner. And then when Shawn came back in 2002, I was like, yay, DX come back, and then they started a feud, and I was like, yes, we get a feud between my 2 favorites of all time. And yeah, the same where Triple H puts HBK through the car window, and he also says that yeah, it actually, you know what, I know that WWE is trying to try it with the Kaz and Enzo feud right now, but they cannot match up Triple H and Shawn Michaels feud from 02, sorry, from 02 to 2004. They cannot match that. But like I said, that was my favorite SummerSlam match. I really enjoyed it. Two of my favorite wrestlers of all time, and yeah, so that was my top 10 favorite wrestlers of all time, my top 10 favorite SummerSlam matches of all time, sorry. Leave your top 10 down below, guys, and if you got any more suggestions for videos, and I'll definitely give you a shout out now. Check you later.